Carotenoids are your fat-soluble antioxidants. They're from the red, yellow, and orange foods, and they protect the cell membrane. There's some fun stories that are academically true, but they're kind of fun. And that is you know how you age. You age by your cell membrane oxidizing. As you oxidize, it dry, harden, wrinkle, crack, constipated, you're aged. And so that's how you act when you get old. You get dry and hard and crack, and you get constipated. And so what you find is that when you take 3 carotenoids a day, you reduce the oxidation of the cell by 44%. This means that by 3 carotenoids a day, you will age 44% slower. And you could live 44% longer. I mean, 44% longer, now we're getting back to Moses again. Yeah. Moses at 120 had not diminished mentally or physically at age 120. Whoa, that's the success. Of course, I said to one guy, I says, wouldn't you like to be 120? He says, man, he says, the condition I'd be in 120, no way would I ever want to live that long. You've got to take care of yourself at the same time. If you're going to learn to live older, you're going to have to take care of yourself. What was that joke that one guy said? Who was it said that? One of those old comedians said, if I knew it. That's right. If I had known I was going to live this long, I'd have treated myself better. Yeah, it's true. If you're planning on actually living longer, you better start taking care of yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to live long enough to suffer real bad. And that's not really funny. And so you get into these products correctly. Now, the carotenoids move from aging. They move into many other things. Since we're doing class 202, we never do class 202. But right here, this is the only 202 we do. We'll talk on a heart disease in a very rare way. This never gets talked about. Harvard University did the study. Harvard was studying in all heart disease, from varicose veins to strokes to everything. What is the biggest killer of heart disease? Heart disease is the biggest killer in the world, and what's the biggest killer in heart disease? It's when bad cholesterol oxidizes and drops out of the cholesterol that oxidized a plaque. It's like a varnish. It sticks to the wall like paint. And when plaque deposes out of cholesterol, it sticks to the lining of the artery, and you're in trouble. And so they say plaque deposition out of oxidized bad cholesterol is the killer. It's the big vicious killer. They said if you can prevent the oxidization of your low-density cholesterol, it won't drop plaque. They found that 3 carotenoids a day will block plaque deposition from your arteries by 500%, which means if you have a good cholesterol count, like 160, you probably 500% reduction probably won't have any plaque. Your arteries will probably be just perfect, crystal clear. If you have high cholesterol, like 260, if you would take 6 carotenoids a day, you're moving it on up, you might even block all plaque deposition in your system, even with high cholesterol, if you're taking a lot of carotenoids. But you taking carotenoids could prevent in your arteries the cause of the #1 killer in heart disease. This is fantastic. This was a study done in Harvard on carotenoids. So it's fantastic to see what it'll do in special little areas. Let's talk about your eyes for a minute. The eyes, I see some glasses out here. Carotenoids are the #1 healer for eyes. They're the healer of glaucoma, cataract, cornea, fluid buildup in the eyeball, focus, vision, and the worst, macular degeneration. On the back side of your eye, you have about 2 million little points, each macular point. It's interesting how difficult things are, how evolution couldn't possibly have happened. On the back of your eyeball is 2 million little points. And each of these points pick up color and send 2 million pieces of information to the brain that tells me that I see you, and I see all of you. And I got 2 million little pieces sending a different message, and my brain sees you. That's pretty interesting how that works. Now, when you get macular degeneration, if you look at the sun too long and say, oh, the sun's going to eclipse, you go, duh, and it fries a macular point, you're going to have a little black dot in your vision. So when you try to read, you're going to have to read around the words because you got the black dot there. And as you get more macular points degenerated, you head for blindness. The #1 cause of blindness is macular degeneration. Bob Pearson in Portland, Oregon, has a book of testimonials. Have you gotten his book? Call him, get it. about 300 pages of testimonials. He has actually flown to other cities, tape recorded people's testimonies, had them sign them when he writes them up, puts them in his book. He has some macular degeneration testimonies that are incredible. I talked to him on the phone before this trip. He had some new ones even. He has a testimonial there about a lady that's 84 years of age. She had macular degeneration so bad. She was still a bookkeeper at an office, by the way. They still liked her. The owner of the little company said they weren't going to go to computer until she left the company because she has never made a mistake. She's the bookkeeper, and they kept her. They thought she was going to retire at 65, but she's 84, she's still working. And so her eyes, big thick glasses like Coca-Cola bottle glasses. And she got a serious headache. She went to the doctor. The doctor said, your eyes are a disaster. He says, I'm going to have to rate you at 20/2200. 20/2200 is the line where they let you carry the white cane. You're legally blind. You can still see a little, but you're legally blind. And she's crying and crying. And somebody found her with carotenoids. She started with 6 a day on the carotenoids. 6 a day on the carotenoids for about 2 months. She got a serious headache. She thought she was worse. She went to the doctor. He says, something has happened. He says, your macular points are healing. He says, your glasses, I'm going to cut your prescription in half. I'm taking your blind rating away from you. And she went home happy. She stayed on 6 a day, 6 a day, 6 a day. 2 more months, she got another serious headache. She went back to her eye doctor. He says, I don't know what's happening. He says, your macular points are healed. And he says, I'm rating you with 20/20 and no more glasses. Can you believe that? No more glasses. 20/20. 84. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have had dozens of people. I go to meeting after meeting. We have so many people that say that they had macular degeneration. It's gone. The carotenoids are the #1 thing for us. If you just took the carotenoids for your eyes, you would get the value. But I haven't even gotten to the most important thing. Let me go ahead and move on up.